parent of 3 children in Philadelphia public schools. I have a son who goes to high school in engineering science and 2 who go to Sylvia Henry in Mount Airy.
Could you move the mic closer, please?
How's that? I want to thank you, Councilman Phila, and Council for inviting me today to share some of my experience and knowledge on this subject. I hope today is a first step in gaining some answers and providing context and clarity to this discussion. Together, we can see that all of our students get the education that will allow them the opportunity to prosper and to achieve their dreams and goals. I'm a product of strong public schools. I participated in honors classes, foreign languages, played varsity sports throughout the year. I played in the high school school band and orchestra. I was safe and secure and well cared for. And we had a state test. It lasted about a day and it really wasn't a big deal. My K-12 experience prepared me academically, socially, and emotionally for college, where I had earned 2 masters and a doctorate degree. I am now the mother of 3 children who are in the school district Philadelphia. By the end of today, you will have heard many people who know about the statistics, the metrics, and the global impacts of this testing. I believe that there needs to be a way to assess the quality, efficacy, and education that the students are receiving, and a way for assisting students when that information is being missed that is not punitive. That process also needs to be evidence-based and have a valid and reliable standard. I'd like to spend my time to present why last year I refused the test for the PSSA Keystone for our children. Last year, the educational environment was dismal in Philadelphia. More budget shortfalls leading to more cuts to essential personnel, more cuts to value programs, less concern about the safety, health, and welfare of our students. This was also the 3rd grade year for my son Cameron. Cameron is a bright, curious, active child. He has a megawatt smile, loves music and arts, and he loves school. He had a creative, wonderful teacher, and he was also surrounded by teachers who were experienced, knowledgeable, and observant of their students. Cameron, like my other 2 children, received additional support in the lower school. The programs for my older 2 children were sponsored by the district, and now both of my children are high-quality learners, high-level students who are confident problem solvers. Cameron's support has been more sporadic due to staffing and budget cuts. We were aware that the PSSAs were happening in spring, and we didn't feel that he was ready to go through this testing process. In the past year, school that did not meet AYP, adequate yearly progress, received additional supports. Our school received a parents ombudsman and an additional guidance counselor. Last year, there were no additional supports when we did not meet that standard again. Students do not receive any additional instruction to ensure that they learn what was missed. What does happen is that some kids, most of the kids, see their PSSA scores as a measure of their academic achievement, and many internalize their scores. What happens to the child whose score says that they're less proficient? What do they begin to think about their achievement? What does it do to their self-esteem and their confidence? We're talking about 8 and 9-year-olds here. My son is just like tens of thousands of the children in Philadelphia's public schools. They are bright and curious and active. They want to achieve, learn, and be smart. They want to play and laugh, experiment, and explore. Why does this district keep our children from learning as optimally as possible? Meanwhile, this test is a heavily weighted metric used to determine a school's success and now a teacher's strength. There is little acknowledgement of exploding class sizes or the lack of personnel in our school buildings. No one seems to talk about the very real effects of poverty, special education needs, or English language learners. No one talks about the level of homelessness, food insecurity, violence, stress, or anxiety that will surely affect the test scores in education as a whole. Yet the scores are used as ammunition to sign school failure, student failure, and teacher failure. Knowing what I know now, and seeing the awful impact of testing used to undermine quality schools, erase public schools from struggling neighborhoods, and lead children to a desolate future, I could not continue to have our family support this inhumane and uneducational practice. In the days leading up to our testing, our school looked very different. Everything had to be taken down and covered up. Awards, signs, notices, bulletin boards, bookshelves, and classrooms and hallways were covered. Signs that highlighted cooperation and respect, posters that were 12 feet high off the ground needed to be removed or covered. The only visible signs were the ones identifying the bathrooms and room numbers, and our school looked like a prison. Looking at the PSSA specifically, I was astonished with the amount of time dedicated to administering this test. My children were due to be tested 6 days for 3rd grade, 9 days for 5th grade, and 11 days for 8th grade. And as I recall, between high school and graduate school, I took the ACT, the GRE, my professional boards, and the GMATs. I tested 16 hours over 12 years to gain higher education and a career. It seems unconscionable that the students are now being tested between 12 and 25 hours a year without a real purpose. I decided that there was so much else more to do for that time than spend it on the test. I sent the superintendent my letters exercising my right to opt out of the test. We picked up our children at 9 a.m. and brought them back at 11:30 after testing was completed. At home, we homeschooled them. We worked on their math, their reading, their school projects, they researched their science fair experiments, we did critical thinking and logic work. We went on trips to the Morris Arboretum and the Franklin Institute, and they completed a rather complicated art project, something that they would never be able to do because art is so scarce in schools now. It was time very well spent, and it was interesting when they returned back to school, most of the rest of the day was spent watching movies and having snacks so the kids could unwind from the stress of taking the test. Only a few teachers were teaching in the afternoon, and this wasn't just Henry. This is what I've seen and heard from many schools during PSSA testing. It's a colossal amount of lost school time, even beyond the 2 or 3 hours dedicated to testing in the morning. We spend millions of dollars in the Brooke School District on testing that could and should be used to prioritize for providing basic safety in our schools, quality personnel and supplies, extracurricular activities, sports, clubs, art, music, science kits, and lab facilities, and the novel cultural projects and programs that add value to our students' education. In essence, we are opting out of creating the stimulating, nurturing, learning environment that all students should have access to and parents and teachers strive to develop. I am glad that my children had the opportunity to learn and progress in their education the entire month instead of testing. There is no reason to have them attach any bit of self-esteem or confidence to this score. I look forward to more conversations about the role and prominence of standardized testing in our public schools. I think every parent should give serious thought about the degree of testing in our schools and begin to ask questions about the practice that has done harm instead of good to our children, our schools, and our belief in learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please identify yourself and begin.